So while I'm talking about the 154 pounders that are on the rise, we got a few. Honestly, there's a bit of a stench in the air in the boxing scene, and a lot of it has to do with it. It's multi-layered. It's multi-layered because Jaime Munguia fought last night. He fought last night. He got knocked out by a Randy. All the people who tried to do the Canelo thing, and it's Oscar's fault, bro. I think it's Oscar's fault because he put it into the air that if you're a Hispanic fighter who, in reality, bro, their style, they're not on the same level as some of the greatest fighters of all time. But they propose a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of cheating, a lot of things that they've been caught for. It's very much nasty work over there at Golden Boy because they're willing to allow and do anything. Oscar, he really wants to build up a fighter to beat Floyd's 50-0, and he wants him to be a Hispanic fighter. And I promise you, he does. That's the reason why. Because every time every chance he gets, niggas ask him about the Floyd Mayweather, bro. He hate that shit. I promise you. And he always, he gave him his credit a few times. I mean, really, all you have to do is tell the truth one time, especially on camera, and it's there forever. But he gave him his credit, bro. He did. He said he's the greatest fighter of all time, greatest fighter he ever fought. But the competitor inside of him, though, he's filled with so much resentment and hate. He's tried to build like 4 or 5 people, right? He tried the Gilberto Ramirez method. We're gonna try to build this guy out to be 50-0. Didn't work. He tried with Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia just got knocked out for one by a Randy, but we'll talk about it. He tried it with Canelo. In the Canelo situation, he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Not only did he lose to Floyd Mayweather, but he lost to Bivol. He lost to cherry picks too. And then he cherry picked fighters and he couldn't even knock them out, but other fighters knocked him out, right? But now you get to the Jaime Munguia situation, right? Through all the ducking and all the running and all the capping, all the cheating what that Canelo had decided to do, all of a sudden the two Golden Boys are fighting one another, right? Canelo, he gets fed to Canelo. Canelo fights Jaime Munguia because in reality it was either Jaime Munguia or David Benavidez. Because David Benavidez, he's that nigga. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's the only Mexican fighter right now that's actually going about doing things 100%. Him and Bam Bam Rodriguez are the only 2 Mexican fighters that are moving with any sort of reputable movement and behavior. Everybody else is fugazi, bro. All these guys, all these Golden Boy guys are just cap. They're cap. You know what I mean? The only people that and the brothers that are over there. Look, I'm glad Charles Conwell's has got some motion now. He's fought like 3 times this year on Golden Boy. So he's doing his thing. Same thing with Kid Austin. They're doing their thing. They're getting fades. But even then, they're not even being built out to be what they should be or what they could be. I think they're better off independent than being over there. But again, that's another video. Jaime Munguia gets fed to Canelo. He loses. Of course he loses. Right? And then he fights a Randy in his next fight. A complete Randy. Bruno Saracen in Mexico in his backyard. He gets knocked out with an overhand right. That in reality, it was a wing. He winged that punch off. He threw that motherfucker like on some like he threw that motherfucker like he just threw it. And then Jaime Munguia's hand was down. He wasn't paying attention. He got clapped. Went down. His legs weren't there under him. And he was just kind of, cooked. He got up. The ref was like, nah, your legs aren't under you. I got to stop this. So he stops the fight. The first thing that people start saying, man, yo, Canelo's resume is aging like boo-boo because all the people he cherry picked and fought, right? Bivol fought better BF and he didn't get knocked out. Matter of fact, I thought he won the fade, but I think I made that video already. That was a hell of a fight and they're about to do the rematch. But if we're talking about the people Canelo beat, right? The Caleb Plant was winning the fight, he gets knocked out. But that was the case for pretty much all his fights when he fought people who were above that prospect or above that contender threshold. You know what I mean? He's winning eliminators, but he lost in the championship fights. He'd been knocked out. You know what I mean? Then you got the Rocky Fielding. I think Jaime Munguia knocked Rocky Fielding out when Canelo couldn't. And then Jaime Munguia couldn't even get knocked out by Canelo. But this dude, Bruno Saracen, slept him and he only has 4 KOs. So now people are looking like, hey man, like I've already known the truth. We know the truth. We've been on the truth. But with the Canelo fans and people who have been watching this dude now, they have other Mexican fighters to root for. Now they looking at him. They're like, man, he not all that he was cracked up to be. And Oscar has been selling everybody a lie. And honestly, he robbed the bank for quite some time. You know what I mean? And before the cheating stuff, Ryan Garcia was supposed to be that dude, but he got caught cheating. They tried to protect these fighters' records for as long as they can until they get a payday. So he wants these guys to be 40-0, 50-0, fighting hella times, fighting hella meaningless fights. If you look at a lot of Mexican fighters, their records are always super high. They fought a lot of fights, but when they finally have to fight the black boxers, very few have stood the test and won. A lot of the time, those be their first L or their biggest L. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, you got them. They're fighting people that you've never heard of. Like on the Latino night that Turkey put on, I think it was a Riyadh season card that had Deserto Ramirez fight on there. You know what I mean? It was a lot. It was some good fights, but it was some fights, people that we never heard of. People's records definitely got inflated that night. And this was supposed to be another record inflating fight for Jaime Munguia. All of the smoke and mirrors that Golden Boy is trying to put in your face are starting to kind of wind down and dwindle down. And to this day, Jaime Munguia never fought Jermall Charlo. He never fought Demetrius Andrade when these people were his mandatory. He was known as a permanent contender forever. He was only ever fighting contenders forever. And then all of a sudden he gets to put on, he fights Canelo because Canelo wants to keep ducking Devin Benavidez, David Morrell, and all these guys. And he didn't want to fight Bud Crawford because he tried to say, oh, well, if I move Bud Crawford up and beat him, I don't get any credit. Bro, I don't even think, first of all, I don't think that he thinks he beats Bud Crawford for one, two. You've pulled so many fighters up and wait to fight you. So what does that even mean? 3, I don't think either fighter was clean in that fight when Jaime Munguia and Canelo fought, because Jaime Munguia was taking some punches, and now all of a sudden he can't eat an overhand right from a Randy with 4 KOs. Something ain't adding up, man. I'm telling you, the Juice Crew over there. I feel as though one day it's gonna come out that most of the fighters over at Golden Boy were dirty fighters who they were drug cheating, because to be honest, it only takes one bad apple to spoil the tree. But you got like 2-3 fighters over there who associate with those Golden Boy guys, and who associate with Eddie Reynoso, and who associate with, you know what I mean, that are popping dirty. I mean, Munguia never popped dirty, I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. And to be honest, the way he looked in this fight, he looked night and day difference. Now, you could say he got his chin cracked when he fought Canelo. You could say that. But at the same time, he's never been a defensive guy. He's always kind of walked through and taken punishment. And it could just be attrition that, broke him down. And now he just kind of is on the back end of his career. But again, when you play these games, when it comes to boxing, when you don't go about it the correct way, it always catches up with you. Nobody ever stole and walked out the back door without getting caught in this boxing shit. Everybody got caught. Now you could try to make as much money as you can until you get caught at this, and then sacrifice your reputation. There's some people that did that. You know what I mean? But everybody's game plan gets exposed. All the people that are on janky timing, they get exposed. It never lasts. So Canelo, his resume is aging poorly. The people who and what's crazy is I think Edgar Berlanga, his time will come. His time will come. And the only reason why I say that is because it's unfortunate. It's not his fault, but as a person, if you are in a cherry picking scheme, if you're involved in a cherry picking scheme, 9 times out of 10, you will get exposed, because you're not as good as the people that the person who cherry picked you were supposed to fight. And when that happens, bro, trust me, people are going to have more things to say. There's going to be more explaining to do. So with that being said, y'all be cool, man. Go.